I was thinking, like in a class, as the class began, we had a roll call. Whether we should have a roll call here and see who is present and who is not. We should understand that this is not a holiday vacation. It's an educational retreat. Everybody who came must participate. Those who are not going to participate, we'll pack them back to the Malaga airport to wherever they came from. It is not a excursion or a vacation. We are here with a specific purpose. Especially what I'm going to discuss now is a very serious business, and I want you all to also take it seriously. Why I want to tell you all about this? Because you all are the future leaders of ISKCON. The responsibility of maintaining and pushing this movement forward lies in your hands. It looks like another class is going on next door. So please ask them whether we should join their class or they should join our class. So, what is the topic for discussion this afternoon? Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. How many of you have got this book? Okay, how many of you didn't get the book? Okay, so collect it from Gaur Hari Prabhu. We have the copies. How many of you got a chance to read it already? Okay. And yeah, it's first of all I'll say that it's a very scholarly writing. Ravindra Swarup Prabhu is a scholar. He is so his way of presenting, and mind you, do you know how long it took for him to come up with this book? How long it took him? It took him 3 years. And do you know how long it took us to come to this point? It took us about 6 years. In ISKCON, we have a wing called the Strategic Planning Committee. Strategic planning. The strategic planning simply means strategically plan about future. How to move this, how to take this movement forward. And we have to plan in advance what we're going to do in future, how we are going to direct this movement. So in 2006, we had a meeting of this strategic planning in Italy, in a place called Prabhupada Desh. And there we formed different committees. And one committee is Srila Prabhupada's position. Srila Prabhupada's position. And a few of us joined that committee. And those who are really concerned about Srila Prabhupada's position and how it can be established properly in ISKCON. So we got involved in that committee called Srila Prabhupada's Position Committee, SPPC, Srila Prabhupada's Position committee, and twice a year we had been having our meetings. Once in Mayapur during the annual GBC meeting, and also in October as the midterm, during the midterm GBC meeting. So, and we had very in-depth discussions, sometimes very interesting discussions. I was even quite surprised and shocked to see that some devotees even felt that we should not put Srila Prabhupada up too high, because then ISKCON may become like the Christianity. Jesus is God. Like we may deify Srila Prabhupada. Anyway, we spoke very strongly when such points came up. The main point that we had is that no matter how much we glorify Srila Prabhupada, is not going to affect the structure of ISKCON at all, because we are not glorifying Srila Prabhupada as God. We are glorifying Srila Prabhupada as God's pure devotee. And the difference between Christianity and us is, in Christianity, Jesus' instructions are not there. What happened over? Huh? I asked, everybody said that they can hear. Why didn't they say?
It changed.
Huh?
It went down.
I didn't go down. So, is that all right now?
Yes.
Let the last person in the row say that. Sachimata? Okay. So when she says okay, we know it's okay. Because she's at the last row. Okay. So that point is completely baseless. Because first point is, we are not, the question of deifying Srila Prabhupada, meaning making Srila Prabhupada into God, will never happen, because it is very clear in everyone's mind in ISKCON that Srila Prabhupada is the pure devotee of the Lord. That's the glory of Srila Prabhupada. Another point is, to say, if we take Christianity, then Christianity, probably you know, the Christianity developed this misconception that, and as a result of that, Christianity became divided into two groups in the early days. As the Orthodox, Greek Orthodox and Roman Catholics. The Roman Catholics presented that Jesus Christ is God, whereas the Greek Orthodox maintained that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Anyway, that misconception entered in there, but in ISKCON we don't have that possibility. Because in Christianity, Jesus' teachings are not recorded. Bible is not what Jesus said. Bible is what the apostles, Jesus' followers, presented as Jesus' teachings. Whereas Srila Prabhupada's teachings are inscribed in his books, in golden letters. So there is no room for any misconception in ISKCON. Prabhupada's books are the basis. Anyway, devotees do come up with different points and we do deal with that. But the main point is that as the pure devotee of Krishna, we can glorify Srila Prabhupada to an unlimited extent. And the more we glorify Srila Prabhupada, better will be for us and the world. And besides that, the most important consideration is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction that Krishna consciousness movement would spread all over the world in every town and village. Did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that? Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now when God says something, can that go wrong? Whatever He says, that becomes reality. Like in Bible we find, God said, let there be light, and what happened? And there was light. God says something, it happens. So when He says that Krishna consciousness movement will spread all over the world in every town and village, will it happen? Yes. How many of you think that it will happen? Very good. So it will happen. And it has already happened. It already started to happen. And how did it happen? It happened through Srila Prabhupada. Look what Prabhupada had done. At the age of 70, he went to America, where he didn't know anybody and where he did not have any money himself. In such uncertainty, do you go to some place without any money and where you don't know anybody? And going to America in that condition, can you imagine what a amazing fit of courage Srila Prabhupada displayed in doing that. Going to America, the most expensive country in the world, without any money. And then he started this movement. It was not easy for him to start the movement. For 1 year he struggled and struggled in America through the winter. Prabhupada, can you imagine? Prabhupada arrived in September. 17th September Prabhupada arrived in America. Now September means summer is over. Autumn started. How is the weather in autumn? Starts getting cold. And then when it comes to winter, how it is like? And that also where Prabhupada was during winter, New York City. So, in such a severe situation, Srila Prabhupada just went to America and started to endeavor to spread this movement. And then, after 1 year of struggle, Srila Prabhupada was trying in every corner. Prabhupada actually thought that the elderly people, well-established, affluent people of New York will listen to him. And Prabhupada started in uptown New York, the affluent part of New York. No response. Then Prabhupada started to move down, and finally Prabhupada came to the downtown New York, Bowery. And who started to respond to Srila Prabhupada there? The young Americans who already left home. Those who were leading a bohemian life. No home, no money, no future, no ambition. Just live. Be here now. And Prabhupada taught them how to be here now. So this is how Srila Prabhupada started the movement. And then at the beginning, when there was some opportunity to get a building, Prabhupada wrote to his godbrothers, asking them to come, and jointly they could endeavor to spread Krishna consciousness in the West. No one responded favorably. And then Srila Prabhupada started to endeavor himself. When none of the godbrothers were willing to come and join hands with him, when Prabhupada was even prepared to give them all the credit, all the leadership, and he was prepared to become their humble follower. When nobody came, then Prabhupada started to act on his own. And he, with a handful of young Americans, he started the movement, registered it in New York as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. A small little room, a storefront in 26 2nd Avenue, just a handful of young American followers, and Prabhupada is registering the institution, the society, the International Society. Small little storefront, probably, the size of this part of this room. Maybe a little longer. But width-wise, even, maybe even less. How many of you have seen the 26 2nd Avenue? Yeah. You know how small it is. But there, Srila Prabhupada started the International Society. The International Society. And for Krishna consciousness, International Society for Krishna consciousness. In America, who knew Krishna? The lawyer who was registering the company asked Srila Prabhupada that Krishna consciousness, nobody will understand. You rather call it the International Society for God Consciousness. And his followers also, these young Americans also, said, yes, I think that's a good idea, Prabhupada. Let's call it the International Society for God Consciousness. But Prabhupada's response was, no. I have come here to make them understand that Krishna is God. So that was Prabhupada's mission. To make the world know that Krishna is God. People say that they believe in God, but who is God? No idea. That's where they're fighting. My God is better than your God. Then other guy says, no, my God is better than your God. And they pull out their guns and shoot at each other. So it's all because they don't know who God is. If they had a clear understanding who God is, then would they fight like that? Never. So Prabhupada came to make them understand who God is. And he established Krishna is that Supreme Personality of Godhead. No matter in whichever name you address Him, if you truly believe in Him, then you have to accept Him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You may call Him God, you may call Him Allah, you may call Him Jehovah, but He is that one without a second Supreme Personality. It's not that Krishna is an Indian God. Krishna is God. And Krishna is not just His name like that. Krishna means all attractive. Who is all attractive? God is all attractive. That's why He's Krishna. Who is all powerful? God is all powerful. Therefore God is omnipotent. In Latin, God is identified as omnipotent. God is identified as omniscient. One who knows everything. Omniscient. Omnipresent. Omni means all, and who is present everywhere. That one Supreme Personality. So Prabhupada came to give this message to this world. Now just consider the effect of this. As the world get to know that today's world has become very intelligent, and as the intelligent world become aware of that God is one without a second and this is Him, then what will happen? Everybody will accept it. Everybody will accept that God, giving up their misconceptions about their gods. And this is going to happen as a cultural revolution. Cultural and revolution of awareness. Becoming aware of God in a real way. That is how this movement is going to spread all over the world, as it is happening here. Like, did you all come to ISKCON because you have been threatened with a gun on your head? Join ISKCON otherwise. Did anybody do that to you? Okay. Did anybody bribe you? Some way? That come to ISKCON, you will get a good job. Did it ever happen to any of you? Did somebody say, you come to ISKCON and you'll get a beautiful wife? Did it happen that way? Of course, here the number of women are more, so I should have said that you'll get a beautiful husband. Did it ever happen that way? Then why are you here? Why did you join ISKCON? Does anybody want to say why he or she joined ISKCON? Ramananda?
Because I received the science of self-realization.
Good. Because he received the science of self-realization. The book or the understanding? The book gave the understanding. Yes, the science of self. Yeah, Moini Priya?
Because we understood that poetry is God.
Because?
We have understood that who is God.
Yeah, because we understood who is God. So nobody bribed you, nobody forced you, nobody allured you. It's just allured you within material temptation. But with your voluntarily, you have accepted with your intelligent understanding, isn't it? Did you join ISKCON intelligently or blindly? Did anyone join ISKCON blindly? No. Some people may. Actually, I was saying that, bribing and things, or allurement, sometimes it happens. In the third world countries, poverty-stricken countries, people join, like in India and Bangladesh. Sometimes people join. Oh, if I join ISKCON, I can go to America. and they do join, they go to America and their life's mission becomes fulfilled. But the real mission is not to go to America. The real mission is to become engaged in devotional service to Krishna. That is why we all have joined ISKCON. So this is how Srila Prabhupada established a movement to enlighten the whole world. And as the world becomes enlightened, the more and more people will become actively involved in Krishna consciousness. And it's happening. Although ISKCON in last few years, last few decades have gone through, after Prabhupada's disappearance, gone through many, many difficulties. But still the movement is spreading. More and more people are coming, joining the movement. Like when Srila Prabhupada left the planet, there were 108 temples. And today, you know how many temples are there? More than 500 temples. So it's growing. And that shows that this movement is here to stay. ISKCON has gone through various difficulties, but in spite of the difficulties, we have weathered the storms, as they say. The storms have been there, but ISKCON stood firmly, upright, without being affected by those storms. And as a result of that, what happens? When there is an attack and you withstand that attack, what happens? You become stronger. So these attacks are coming, but those attacks are making ISKCON stronger and stronger. And if we look at the history, like who started this Krishna consciousness movement? Who started this Krishna consciousness movement? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan movement. And that was when? About 500 years ago. Prabhupada didn't start anything on his own. It's not something new that Prabhupada created. He is actually following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And actually it is not only him. He was following his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was following Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the one who actually revived this Krishna consciousness movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and inundated the whole of India with Krishna consciousness. Whole India became Krishna conscious at that time. But then came a time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings got lost. And then came a dark age when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings were completely lost. So much so that educated, cultured people did not want to have anything to do with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. Whose phone is it? Can't you make out whose phone is it? Everyone switch off your phone. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings got lost. And it was completely covered, eclipsed. Because some unscrupulous people, in the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, introduced all kinds of nonsensical activities. Like, how will you feel when somebody comes and tells you Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promoting meat eating? How will you feel? And how will you feel if somebody comes and says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promoting intoxication? Somebody help her to switch off the phone. If somebody says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promoting, how will you feel if somebody says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promoting illicit sex? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promoting gambling. Now mind you, that's what was going on in the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. In simple words, illicit sex, intoxication, and all that. Now if that happens, if that was going on in the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, will any of you join Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement? or not even Sankirtan. That was not. So that was what's happening. Educated, intelligent class of people didn't want to have anything to do with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. But at that time, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur came. A very, very powerful individual. Like he was not only a deputy magistrate, but a brilliant personality. A prolific writer, thinker, speaker, one of the brightest personalities of his time. And he came and he started to promote Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. He printed, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur printed Chaitanya Charitamrita with his commentary, Amrita Prabaha Bhashya. The commentary, that is the flow of nectar. And then he wrote many books based on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. He wrote many poetries, not only in Bengali or Sanskrit. He wrote in Bengali, he wrote poetry in Sanskrit. How many of you remember Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Sanskrit poetry? Yes, which one is that? Huh?
At the last retreat, you were doing, I can't remember the name.
Okay. Okay, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Sanskrit poetry. I mean, there are quite a few. One that is very popular is Jadite Haripad Saroj Sudha Rasapana Param Hridayam Satatam Pariritta Griham Kalibhavamayam Bhajagodrumakanana Kunja Vidhum Ramani Jana Sanga Sukhancha Sakhe Charame Bhayadang Purushartha Haram Harinama Sudhara Sanitya. So this is how, so see what a beautiful. And not only Bengali and Sanskrit, he wrote in English. And in a way, I feel that Bhakti Vinod Thakur's English poetry was even better than many famous English poets. First of all, they are presenting the most profound philosophy, and secondly, the way, the rhyme and meter. Not many English poets wrote in that kind of rhyme and meter. Like we often sing that song also. Alas for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. The dazzling, deadly liquid forms their hearts forever employ. The shining bottles charm their eyes and draw their hearts' embrace. The slaves of wine can never rise from what we call disgrace. Such a brilliant personality. Is he a personality from this world? No. These personalities come from that world, spiritual sky. These writings are not mundane writings. These writings are transcendental sound vibration transmitted from the spiritual world. So this is how Bhakti Vinod Thakur started to revive Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. Then according to his prayers, Lord Jagannath sent him an able assistant. Who is that? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur took that mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as designed by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he spread it all over India. 100 years ago, not 100 quite, maybe 85 years ago, he already established about 63 temples throughout India. So this is how the movement started to grow. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established an institution called the Gauriya Mission. Actually, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur made recognize the importance of an institution. Why an institution necessary? Because when a personality, a great person, do the great personalities like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada come all the time? Personalities like that are available all the time? No, they come, as the word goes, as the expression goes, once in a blue moon. Does the moon become blue? So the moon may become blue, but not always. Once in a blue moon, a personality is like come. But fortunate for this world, these three personalities came in succession. These three personalities came in succession as a divine arrangement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to fulfill certain mission. As I mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings were totally lost. Right? So who revived from the totally lost point of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He revived, he brought out the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then who started to spread these teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Now when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur started to spread the mission, he pointed out the importance of an institution. Institution, what is the meaning of the word institution? Institution.
It's an organization.
Yeah, what is again organization?
An established.
A management structure?
For what? Management structure for what? Okay, institution means a collective body of many people. Individual and collective format. So that collective form is an institution. Now, see, personalities like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comes, as we say, once in a blue moon. Now, does such personalities continue to stay forever? Do they stay forever? No. But when they are here, they create a spiritual tidal wave. They create an inconceivable spiritual awareness. They create an inconceivable movement. But then what happens? After they leave, does it continue? It doesn't continue. After the disappearance of such a great personality, it tends to subside. Go back to square one. So that it doesn't happen, that's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave so much emphasis on the institution. That means when he would leave the planet, the mission would continue. How? Collectively, by the collective endeavor. And that's why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, before leaving the planet, you know what was his last final instruction to his followers? Collectively manage the institution through the governing body. But unfortunately, some of his disciples failed to understand the importance of that instruction. Rather, they felt that how can a spiritual movement, a spiritual organization run by a group of managers? A spiritual organization needs a spiritual head. And so they appointed a spiritual head. And when that spiritual head unfortunately fell down, when the head falls down from the body, then what happens? Can the body survive? Okay. That's what happened. The institution collapsed. And and as a result of that, what happened? They started the conflict among themselves. Now, why I am saying all this? Is it important to know the history? No matter how unpleasant it is? Or should we say, no, it's too unpleasant, let's not discuss. If we do that, then what will happen? We'll remain ignorant about the reality. Therefore it is important, that's why I am telling, so that you become aware what happened, and from that you get to know what should be done and what shouldn't be done. So that is the purpose of this seminar. So Srila Gaudiya Math, that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established, disintegrated, fell apart. Now mind you, like most of his disciples, leading disciples, sannyasis, didn't fall down. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's, most of his disciples continued. One or two may have fallen down, but most of them continued. And they had their temples, they're continuing their spiritual life, they had a handful of disciples, and the spiritual activities are going on. So that way, individually the spiritual life was going on. But the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness stopped. They kept practicing their spiritual life in their own way. But the mission that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established of spreading Krishna consciousness not only throughout India, but throughout the world, fulfilling the prediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that came to a grinding halt. That stopped. Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, understood that mission. And that's why when Srila Prabhupada went to America, Prabhupada didn't just want to establish one temple or two temples, not even 100 temples. Srila Prabhupada went to America to plant the seed for spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world, that it spread to every town and village. Now Srila Prabhupada also was faced with that challenge. And he is the one who understood Bhakti Siddhanta, where Gaudiya Math failed. Gaudiya mission failed. Why they failed? Because they lost the institution. Prabhupada recognized the importance of the institution. Prabhupada also realized, maybe more acutely, because Prabhupada went to America at the age of 70. When you are 70 years old, how many years do you think you have? How many more years do you think you have? Not that many. Even if you live for 100 years, it's only 30 years. So Srila Prabhupada knew that he will not be here for too long. Therefore, what Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish, an institution. When he started to preach, even before any temple was established, he established the institution, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And it is that institution Srila Prabhupada put the absolute emphasis. Srila Prabhupada didn't care for his name and fame. Srila Prabhupada was concerned only about the welfare of the institution, effectivity of the institution. And Srila Prabhupada also, before leaving the planet, while present and guiding, Prabhupada established the GBC body. A format for collective management. And Prabhupada emphatically told us to manage the society through the GBC. Prabhupada made his leading disciples understand the importance of the GBC. Prabhupada emphatically pointed out the ultimate managing authority of ISKCON is the GBC. The ultimate managing authority. Now another thing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, from him we can understand. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, before leaving the planet, did not appoint any successor. Meaning he did not say that he is going to be the Acharya after me, which was actually the common custom in India for spiritual institutions. The Guru would name his successor. And that successor would become the head of the institution. So the institution or ashram would be handed over to that person. That was the custom. And if somebody wanted to continue to preach, then he would set up his ashram, or preach or teach. He would set up his ashram and function that way. So small ashrams were there, and they were functioning that way. But what is the effectivity of that ashram? Handful of devotees. The Guru has 20-30 disciples, and they would teach the disciples the science of spiritual culture. And they would hand it over to the next successor, and that's how it continued. But with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we see that he did not create a small ashram or few ashrams. He actually brought all the structure under one umbrella, and that is the institution. Now when that collapsed, the ashrams were there. Many ashrams also cropped up after that. But that umbrella that was needed to give protection to the devotees and expand the mission, that collapsed. So the point is, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur didn't want to hand over the ashram or institution to any individual. And so Srila Prabhupada also made it clear to us that he himself will remain the head of the institution for all time. And that is his position as the founder, Acharya. Acharya, the Guru, spiritual head. So in ISKCON, who is the spiritual head? GBC is there as the ultimate managing authority. But the spiritual head, Srila Prabhupada. That position has been secured. Okay, now let us consider if Srila Prabhupada didn't do that, then what would have happened? We have the history. What happened to Gauriya Math? Maybe you all are not so well aware of it. Just to give you a brief idea, as I mentioned, the Gauriya Math became totally dysfunctional. Although individually they're carrying on the spiritual life, but the preaching Krishna consciousness effectively all over the world didn't happen. Stopped. Even in India, their preaching stopped. Whereas Srila Prabhupada came and established ISKCON, and through ISKCON we can see what has happened. All over the world, Krishna consciousness movement has spread. Now let us consider, let us consider in this way. We have also another history within ISKCON. We have another history within ISKCON. In an understanding was that Srila Prabhupada appointed 11 gurus. So out of that, now consider, out of that 11 gurus, most of them actually had spiritual difficulties. Now we saw in Gaudiya Math, when the spiritual head fell down, what happened to Gaudiya Math? It collapsed. Now, if ISKCON was Prabhupada handed over ISKCON to a group of spiritual heads appointed by him, then over a period of time, how long it took, for most of them to have spiritual difficulties? It started in 3 years' time, from 78 to 81, and by 85, by 85, 7 out of 11 gurus fell down. Now what would have happened? Would have been any ISKCON there today in a situation like that? It caused a lot of damage because they were gurus, they had thousands of disciples. And when the guru falls down, what happens to the disciple? The spiritual life gets completely devastated. Now, did it happen to ISKCON? Yes. Many of them lost faith and left ISKCON. But did it affect ISKCON? Not really. Why not? Because of the GBC concept, collective management. Gurus may have fallen down, and when the gurus fell down, then the collective body of the GBC said, okay, then you can't continue as a leader, spiritual leader. Only because of the GBC body, they could take such a strong stand. It was not one person, 2 persons, it's a body. With the approval of Srila Prabhupada, that they are the ultimate managing authority. And when they say that you have to do this, you have to do this. So this is how we can see how ISKCON was saved. And ISKCON is continuing. Gurus have fallen down, but those who remained in ISKCON, their spiritual life remained intact. So this is how we see the importance of this institution to continue, and in order to hold the institution together, there is a need of the head and the managing body. And the head of ISKCON for all time is Srila Prabhupada. It has been inscribed in stones in ISKCON. Wherever the name ISKCON would come up, Srila Prabhupada's name must come up as the founder Acharya. So with the passing of time, this point is becoming clearer and clearer. After Prabhupada left, the devotees started to believe, or devotees were taught that now Prabhupada has left, and now these 11 gurus are the gurus. And this understanding was so clear that if anybody went against that understanding, he was driven out of ISKCON. It happened. But today what is happening? We are seeing that after, like when so many of the gurus have fallen down, then one thing became very clear, that no one is there who is capable of taking up Srila Prabhupada's role, Prabhupada's position. So Prabhupada's position is clear. And now we are becoming more and more aware that in an institution, to function as an institution, we have to function as a representative. ISKCON doesn't belong to anyone but Srila Prabhupada. Who does ISKCON belong to? Does ISKCON belong to the gurus? No. Even the disciples, do the disciples belong to the gurus? Who do the disciples belong to? ISKCON, yes. You have joined ISKCON. You belong to ISKCON. Your guru is your guide who is helping you to be in ISKCON and acting as a via medium between Srila Prabhupada and you by clarifying Srila Prabhupada's teachings to you. So these understandings are becoming more and more clear. And as it is becoming clearer and clearer, we are becoming aware of the need of properly establishing Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, and that's why this book has come out. And see, the initial part of the book is the basic point. And then it has been elaborated. Those points have been further elaborated. So originally I think it was only 8 pages. The real text is only 8 pages, and the extended elaboration and explanation amounts to this book, which is about 120 pages. But that of course has glossary and a few other abbreviations, etc. And I just want to also read a part of my introduction to this book, the foreword to this book. I was asked to write the foreword of this book. I'll read the last paragraph, This book is thoroughly researched and based on Shastra and historical facts. It is academic in nature and provides a foundation on which we can build a holistic culture of education meant to firmly and very practically establish Srila Prabhupada's position as the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Of course, pure Krishna consciousness acknowledges no technique. Its only base is humility and absolute surrender. And it is in this mood that we offer this publication to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and all his devotees. So now the next point is very important. Please take note. Kindly note that this book is not meant for casual reading, but for implementation. This book is not meant just for casual reading. The purpose of this book is to implement a principle. What is the principle? Principle is Srila Prabhupada's position as the founder Acharya. If we do that, our personal and collective relationships with Srila Prabhupada will flourish unlimitedly, and we'll come to very practically understand that our beloved founder Acharya is not frozen in time. He is an eternal assistant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's divine flood of compassion and Krishna Prem, and his heart melts and flows without restriction or impediment to anyone and everyone who shows the slightest interest in his teachings and the Nam Sankirtan mission. So take this book very seriously and make it a point to read it carefully. Srila Prabhu also wrote the preface of this book. I'll just read few paragraphs from that, just to give an idea. He's saying that as a member of the SPPC, that is Srila Prabhupada's Position Committee, I was assigned the task of writing a foundational document for ISKCON devotees on the import of Srila Prabhupada's position as founder Acharya. Having accepted this assignment, I found myself spending many days and nights absorbed in thinking, somewhat obsessively, about Srila Prabhupada, about his life and his heritage, about his movement, about myself as a disciple, and similarly, my mental and emotional states became acutely heightened, and yet suspended from any determinate conclusion. And then I sat down and in 2 or 3 hours typed a short statement, no more than 3 pages, that seemed to come almost of its own accord. It was based on little or no research and no new finding, simply my own intuition and realizations. I refined it somewhat, and at the next available occasion, presented it to the other members of the strategic planning group. To my relief, the overwhelmingly positive response assured me, at least, that I was heading in the right direction. This direction was given a concrete shape by the follow-up instructions. Great, they said. So far, now write a commentary. So what he wrote in essence, in 3 pages, elaborated into this 100-some pages, which is mainly the commentary. So, so this is so I will just go through these points a little bit. Srila Prabhupada as founder Acharya of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada showed great concern that his position as ISKCON founder Acharya always be prominently recognized. He mentioned that in each of his books, the title page and cover display his name in full, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, with founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, placed immediately below. Similarly, he ordered that founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, appear directly beneath International Society for Krishna Consciousness on all ISKCON official documents, letterhead, stationery, publication, and signage. In these and other ways, Srila Prabhupada's special, intimate connection with ISKCON is to be always honored. So this is what Srila Prabhupada said. And I have my personal experience also, which I narrated here in I'll read that part also. When I was Srila Prabhupada's personal servant, I noted many times that he would insist that on any printed material, the title Founder Acharya and his full name be printed under the society's name of ISKCON. I was very immature and inexperienced at that time and often wondered, Srila Prabhupada is such a humble and exalted Vaishnava. Why is he so persistently insisting on this? I did not ever openly express this to Srila Prabhupada, but it continued to perplex me. But slowly, by his divine grace, in due course of time, I began to understand his intent. The phrase Founder Acharya is not just a title, but a transcendental system intended to protect, preserve, and give longevity to an institution dedicated to the mass liberation of conditioned souls all over the world in the dark, abysmal age of Kali. So it's not that Prabhupada was concerned about his title as the founder Acharya for his own aggrandizement. Prabhupada wanted that to hold the institution together. Because the institution needs a head. Can you imagine Christianity without Jesus Christ? Why Christianity is Christianity today? Because of Jesus. Islam without Muhammad? So we need these personalities, who is a founder or the principal spiritual head, always remain in that way for the proper functioning of the institution. So anyway, so today I will do only up to this much, and because we have already, it's a heavy, how do you like this topic? Yeah? Do you find it interesting? I was quite worried that it may sound quite boring to you all. The Maharaj is bringing all this managerial stuff here to crowd our already crowded brains. So, good. Then, if you have any question, you can feel free to ask. Yes, Ramananda. Do we have a microphone? Cordless microphone?
Otherwise I can stand up.
Huh?
I can stand up.
Okay.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I find it, for me personally, just the way that now this is all expressed by the GBC in an organized form with the book, is just also a proof that we need an institution. Because to me it's an enormous relief that things are now finally expressed in such a way, because I've seen over the many years, an institution does something to the person. Persons, I've come from this Catholic background, and I've seen how the institution was attacked and how people have suffered, how priests became weird, and so many things happened. So also we had difficulties in ISKCON. It was also difficult, and now and devotees all kind of felt, yes, we need to establish Srila Prabhupada, but the way to do that was sometimes came out in a very difficult, and sometimes also become weird. It becomes like shouting Srila Prabhupada, but it doesn't really do the thing. So now, like when you give that lecture in Radhaditch last Saturday evening, everybody could feel it. It's like one of these lectures. It's like electricity. It's like everybody understands. It's I was thinking of Lord Chaitanya, who's going to the Jarikanda forest, and even all the animals start to chant and dance. It is something like that. And now I feel, as I'm listening more, that is such a relief, because also, the Ritviks are there, having tried to react in their way, which was also very, it becomes sometimes like insane. And now things are established, and it's very, very wonderful. I feel so, this is amazing. This is very, very, it's very, very amazing to me. And it's very deep. It's a very important phase what we know having, and I'm so happy. And then what I wanted to ask is, like you explained, that it's actually it's a culture of. You said it's a culture of. You mentioned the word cultural. What I wanted, there is this fine things. How to, we had this zonal Acharya thing, and now we have the GBC. I would like to have it pointed out in all this development. What is actually how we have to understand the GBC position, and what is the difference with zonal Acharya, then that Srila Prabhupada's position. If that could become cleared out, we would feel more relaxed and could Because now, you know, sometimes it's, you know, because Srila Prabhupada's teachings are absolute, and devotees, like in an institution, they also tend to become absolute. And then, you know, when things don't flow in relations, it goes wrong.
Good.
And when we don't understand it.
Yeah, I think I got your point, Ramananda. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. I use the expression, it's a culture, that we have to establish a culture, a spiritual culture. Prabhupada himself said a cultural conquest. It's a culture, I mean, culture means a system to promote certain ideology. So that is in that context I use the word culture.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
That, like, I can see in Belgium and Holland, for instance, both Christian cultures, but Holland is Protestant and Belgium is Catholic. You have two different people.
Yeah, right.
Cultural influence.
Yeah.
And the cultural conditioning is very strong.
Right.
So that's what I understood. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That is, you see, like a systematic way to present or promote the ideology. They are promoting the ideology of Catholicism in Belgium and Protestantism in Holland, right? And anyway, so that was... Now, you see, when you look at ISKCON, Prabhupada gave a very clear understanding how ISKCON should be managed. And during Prabhupada's time, we followed that, and ISKCON was in perfect shape. And that structure actually is, Prabhupada is the head of the institution as the founder Acharya. Then GBC is the ultimate managing authority, right? GBCs are zonal secretaries, meaning Prabhupada's secretaries in different zones.
What does it mean, Guru, managerial?
I was coming to that. And the units of ISKCON are the temples. So the temples are the unit, and the temples are managed by the temple presidents. It's kind of in a way you can say an independent, or rather unit, a body in itself. Prabhupada didn't actually want the GBCs to be the head of the temples. Prabhupada wanted the GBCs to see that the spiritual standard is maintained. They were like Prabhupada's representatives going to different places and seeing that things are happening correctly, right? But the temples are unit. This temple, that temple, that temple. And this is how Prabhupada actually created a system where ISKCON could expand unlimitedly.
By opening new temples.
By opening new temples. And the temples, you see, is the responsibility of the temple president and the body to maintain the temple. So the society is not being encumbered, right? Temples are independent in maintaining themselves. So anyway, that was the basic structure. Prabhupada, GBC body, GBC members, temples, devotees, preaching. But then, as you mentioned, after Prabhupada's disappearance, a trouble started. As you mentioned the word, zonal Acharya. You see, the zonal, already there were zones. Prabhupada created zones, and the zones are under the GBCs. But after they became gurus, these 11 individuals, they kind of became the spiritual head of their zones in proxy. Because now Prabhupada is gone, now we are the heads. And they had a system that everybody in the zone had to take initiation from them, whether you like it or not. So that was the zonal Acharya system. It was going on, but then the trouble started when the guru started to fall down. When the Guru fell down, then the disciples lost faith and the zones collapsed, one after another. And therefore, in 1986, there was a committee formed called the 50-man committee. The 50 senior devotees from different parts of the world got together during Mayapur GBC meeting, and their objective was to find out where we went wrong. Like why it is happening. Now ISKCON is, at the time, can you imagine, out of 11 gurus, 6 gurus already fell down by 65. The majority of the gurus have fallen down. So can you imagine what the state of affairs? And causing so much damage. You have seen it yourself in Belgium and France. Like, it caused so much damage. So many devotees lost faith. And anyway, so then that zonal Acharya system was abolished. No more zonal, like devotees now are free to choose their guru. And the gurus can go anywhere and accept disciples. So eventually, I'll admit that this also created a problem. This created a problem in the form of guru groupism. I don't know whether you all are familiar with that concept. The disciples rally around their gurus, and within ISKCON another groups are created. And this guru's group, that guru's group, and so forth. Now, what Srila Prabhupada actually wanted? Prabhupada wanted one institution, not one institution with 25 divisions. One institution with everyone completely tuned in to the basic objective of that institution. That's what Srila Prabhupada wanted. And that is one thing that we are facing a challenge now. And in subcommittee, strategic planning committee, we have another committee called the parallel line of authority. Like, you see, during Prabhupada's time, the line was one line. Prabhupada, GBC, temples, and so forth. But now it developed a parallel line of authority. The Guru's line of authority. Now how to solve the problem? Should we become Ritviks and say no Gurus? No, that is also not desirable. Like, yeah, we need Gurus. Devotees need Gurus. Disciples, in order to make spiritual advancement, they need an ongoing guidance, spiritual guidance. We need Gurus. Now what is needed, that the Gurus now must come under the authority structure of ISKCON, which is Prabhupada as the founder Acharya, GBC body, and the Gurus. Now that is the challenge we have, how to implement it, because there are, for an institution like this, it's very difficult to get everybody agree with you. But we are just playing it cool. Like, let this happen gradually, slowly. It will happen. I'm quite confident that it will happen. And it's happening. Like when I started to give initiation, I made it very clear that I am just initiating on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Ritiks loved it. They thought I have also become a Ritik. But the thing is, yes, We are initiating on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, but still we have to play the respective role of the Guru. Like, yes, assume the responsibility, guide the disciples. And now I notice that some other god brothers of mine are also taking that same kind of a stand and saying that they're initiating on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. And so it's a matter of just becoming aware of that necessity. You see, which I have told you all many times before, that what is the role of the gurus in ISKCON as opposed to normal understanding of the role of a guru. Normal understanding of the role of a guru was that guru is the transparent via medium between the disciple and Krishna. Transparent via medium. Generally between disciple and Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. But in the context of ISKCON, you see, had I have my ashram and I was teaching my disciples in that ashram, then yes, I could have been the absolute authority. Right? Be the via medium between disciple and Krishna. But I am actually functioning not in my ashram. I am functioning in ISKCON. So I am not functioning independently as Guru. My role is relative. If ISKCON tells me tomorrow, Maharaj, you stop giving initiation, I have to accept it. Right? And this is my role. I'm functioning as a representative of ISKCON, or to be more clear, representative of Srila Prabhupada. So when I function that way, then who am I, the via medium between disciples and Srila Prabhupada? Via medium in the sense, but the teachings are based on Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Right? I am transmitting Srila Prabhupada's teachings as Prabhupada's representative. The devotees, my role as a guru is to take them to Srila Prabhupada, develop their loyalty to Srila Prabhupada, make them understand Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and become properly situated in Prabhupada's ISKCON. Right? So that is the role. Not via medium, of course, but not between disciple and Krishna, but disciple and Srila Prabhupada. So that is the fundamental ideology of ISKCON. Okay. Yes, Saraswati.
Srila Prabhupada said that if you want to know me, then you read my books. And personally, of course, I never met Srila Prabhupada in person because I joined when he left. So I remember one time in the beginning when Srila Prabhupada was like a distant figure. I did, of course, appreciate the books. But as a person, still, I saw him on the Vyasa-san, and the other guru was more present and more prominent at that time. And then for some time, my service was to translate the Srila Prabhupada book. So then one day, after a few months of translating, I walked down the stairs in Bangladesh, and then there was a video going on of Srila Prabhupada. Somebody was playing the video. And then I got such a shock, because I felt that all of a sudden I felt that I know this person. I know Srila Prabhupada. And then I realized it was because I had been so intensely reading books because of his translations. So my question to to you is, you of course have met Srila Prabhupada in person, but, and also it is established now that Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru of everybody in ISKCON. So how do you see, if we make spiritual advancement, how we will, is it like, how we will realize Srila Prabhupada's presence in our life, and how do you experience Srila Prabhupada as still being present?
Well, you know the concept of Vapu and Vani. Huh? Out of these two, which one is more important?
Vani.
And which one is permanent? Yeah. So the personality is there, but we have to see or feel the spirit of that personality. What he wants. When I adapt it, then only I am properly linked up with him. What he wants. You see, what is our relationship? Our relationship is very simple. Master and servant. Right? And what is the servant's business? To follow the command of the master. Try to understand what the master wants and try to act accordingly. And that's what we have to do. Like what Srila Prabhupada wants. And then the question arises, why Srila Prabhupada wants that? Does Srila Prabhupada want that in order to exploit us or to benefit us? Right. For our benefit, Prabhupada is doing that. And therefore, I have to surrender to him and become completely tuned up to him. And then only I will derive the ultimate benefit myself. So, you see, the human nature is like that. We want to do something because there is some benefit in that. Does anybody want to do anything to lose something or to gain something? So here we are, whatever we are doing for our ultimate gain, and we have to become aware of that. By being in ISKCON, I am not helping anybody else. By being in ISKCON, I am not helping even Srila Prabhupada. Being in ISKCON, first and foremost, is I am helping myself. So that is the very basic criteria for developing our relationship with Srila Prabhupada. Does it answer your question? Thank you. Yes, Hemagori?
You mentioned that Bhakti Thakur was, we could make out that he was from the other world. He was very, very empowered. So we all have come from the spiritual world. But because we all wanted to be the bosses, so Krishna made this material world. So now, my question is, we are, even in this spiritual path, we still all feel that, we want to be the leaders. So everybody obviously cannot become a leader. Everybody has a different role to play. And we all have to work in like...
May I correct you here?
Sorry?
May I say something to correct you here in the middle of it? We are here not to become leaders. Why did you join ISKCON? Jiver Sarupai? Eternal leader of this world? Or Jiver Sarupai? Krishna and Nitya Das. We are here not to become leaders. We have come here with a specific purpose to become servants of the servants. Okay, carry on now.
No, but sometimes I see like people say, oh, why this one is going to order me and tell me to do something, I can also
Okay.
be the leader.
Fine. Yeah. And that attitude we have to overcome. We shouldn't think, why he is ordering me? When we feel that way, who is actually that responding? My false ego. Now in Krishna consciousness we have to get rid of our false ego. Right? If somebody comes up with giving us some order, our attitude should be, yes, Prabhu, I'll try my best to do it. See, this is a change of attitude, is absolutely necessary. As long as we want to lord over, we will remain in the material nature. If we want to go to the spiritual sky, we have to give up the tendency to lord over and become the servant of the servant. Right?
Yeah, I mean, this question is like, everybody, this is some inborn quality in a person. Everybody cannot become a leader.
Don't worry about become leader. If Krishna wants, he'll make you a leader. Prabhupada didn't want to become a leader. It's Krishna who made him a leader. Right? Similarly, our attitude should be, we are here to become servants, not masters. If somebody has become a master, if somebody has become a leader, let's recognize that Krishna has put him in that position. But I am happy just by being the servant of the servant. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is saying, Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayo Dasho Anudasho Dasho Asmi. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the lover of the gopis. So that is our role. Right? If somebody is a leader, okay, he's a leader. And I feel happy that I don't have to take all the responsibility like he has to. I don't have to worry about so many people's welfare and like I'm fine. Like in my little world, I'm doing a little service and I'm happy doing that. So that is the attitude of a devotee. I don't want to become big. I want to become small. And that is the meaning of Trinadopi Sumichena. I want to become more humble than a blade of grass. So that is the spirit of Krishna consciousness. Alright? Yes, Ramananda?
In that respect, Guru Maharaj, you just 2 days ago there was this quote from you on that says that we should be ready to take up responsibility for Krishna.
If Krishna gives it, take it. If Krishna's devotees want you, do it. But not that, I want to become the big personality. Whatever you want me to do, Prabhu, or Prabhus, I am ready to do it. Like the other day, I was talking to one of my godbrothers in New Vrindavan, and he was telling me that how Radhanath Maharaj was so reluctant to take sannyas. When the proposal came that he should, and he was being asked to take sannyas, and he was telling that, he was confiding with some of his close associates, saying that, no, I'm not qualified. And that feeling was genuine. It's not that just saying that, oh, I'm not qualified. And he used to give reasons. So for so long I used to keep my long hair and beards. I did not become submissive. I didn't submit to. And this is the thing, like although so qualified himself, he was thinking that he was not qualified. So that is the mood of a devotee. Although the responsibility or title or position is awarded, his initial response is, I am not qualified. Just like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The devotees asked him, please write, you are such a poet, you are such a prolific thinker and writer. And he was not accepting. But then when Govindaji indicated, then he took up the responsibility. So that is the mood of a devotee.
That sometimes because again I'm coming from that Catholic background where everything was dark in the churches and it was to me such a sad story. So now when I am in a kirtan, I feel if you do a kirtan, you have to do a kirtan. You cannot stand there and I call it, you cannot do a funeral kirtan. And so then when I read the kirtan, I want to read the kirtan. And then I feel, okay, and some devotees, I feel they, and I cannot understand why they should be swing. So sometimes there's conflict in these things, because I feel if we lead, we should lead. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to become the temple president because I lead the kirtan. I feel if we do the thing, we have to go for it.
You go for it. Hare Krishna. So, okay, let's do kirtan.